Right, Gary, thank you very much for speaking to us.
Pleasure.
You've just been on a trip to the local hospital. I just wanted to get your thoughts on that. Really, it must be quite a wholehearted experience.
It's very humbling, and you do really it makes you really appreciate what you have. I think all the staff at the hospital do an unbelievable job. Not just the hours that they work, but the emotional support that they give mums, dads, kids was it's incredible. So for us to go round there and spend an hour and a half just talking to them and listening to them is the least we can do, and it's a very easy part of the job, but it's one that we speak to the players about the impact that we can have in our role to help other people in their lives. And it was a fantastic time that we had there, mixing with them and giving out presents.
A good indicator for the players to notice the weight that the club carries in the local area.
Yeah, definitely. The community's massive, isn't it? It's so important to the football club, and like I say, it's our opportunity to give something back to the community. And just listening to some of the supporters that are in there and their stories of Burton Albion is just fantastic to listen to. And like I say, we wish them all a speedy recovery, and no disrespect, to get out of the hospital as quick as they can and get home for Christmas.
Absolutely. Onto the football side of things, obviously a good victory Monday night it was.
Yeah,
wasn't
a little
it?
bit like that.
Trying to keep up at the moment. Look, how much do you enjoy the busy December period? Is that the right word?
Oh, it's certainly busy. Not just. I was looking at the fixtures today. December's busy, and then January's crazy. I think we've got 8 games in January as well. So we know our situation in terms of the size of the squad, and when we pick up injuries, then that certainly stretches us. But what it has done is provide an opportunity for others, and you just see the way that how tight the group is and how together they are because of the fact that then players get their opportunity, and everybody in our squad knows at some point they're going to be called upon, and it's important that they're ready, and they have been ready. And for us to be where we are and fighting in the position that we're in is nothing but short of testament to how well they're doing, and we've got to keep that going now because we're stretched again, coming up against another good team, financially well banked, wonderful manager. I think it's no surprise the turnaround that they've had since Duffers has gone in there. In my own personal opinion, I think if Huddersfield had stayed with him last season, they would have got in the playoffs, but that's not my decision, and as a result of that, Wycombe are benefited.
What do you think's clicked for them?
Well, I think he knows his teams are very difficult to play against. He knows how to organise them. He knows how to set them up. He knows what effective winning football is as well, and he's got the ability with the team that he's got, the squad that he's got, to play a variety of ways and with a variety of formations, and it's just experience and know-how.
How much time are you actually getting on the grass with the players at the moment during this period?
Well, we're getting on the grass, and we'll make sure that we prepare properly in here with the video stuff, but we have to be extremely careful with our lack of numbers. So yes, we're doing the work on the grass, but at the same time we're keeping an eye on obviously the contact stuff and try and limit that, because we can't afford to pick up any more injuries. It's as simple as that.
Did you get through Monday night okay?
Yeah, the only thing with Monday night is one or two things because of the pitch. It was heavy, and obviously the slope, and one or two just felt a little bit sore after that. But yeah, nothing other than that.
You've got it ticking away from home this season. The form at home not as good. Why do you think that is?
I think you boys ask me every time we lose at home, and you ask me every time we win away, but I don't think there's too much of a massive difference. We don't set up any different than that's in our heads in terms of, we're playing away, we're going to play like this, or we're playing home, we're going to play like that. We take each game on its merit, and the opposition is the same. And if I did know the answer of that, I wouldn't probably be sat here, because I'd be able to tell every team in the world why they're winning at home and winning away.
It is interesting though, isn't it? Whether it's an environment thing or a mentality.
Yeah, I think what I can guarantee you, it's not one thing. It's not down to one thing. You know, is it the fact that we don't get on a bus, or we do get on a bus, or is it the fact that we don't eat at home, or we do eat at home? It's never down to just one thing. But you're right to ask, and we obviously have a look at things in terms of preparation, but we don't prepare any different.
Tyree Shade, he must be flying through this week, ready for Saturday. I bet he's definitely.
Let's just say he's had to have a little bump on the head to bring him back down.
Has he enjoyed it?
First ever career hat-trick, so delighted for him and delighted for the work. You know, I gave him a little breather at Wigan, which he wasn't happy about, but I knew what was coming. We lost Fabio to an operation on Wednesday, so I knew it was important to try and give him a little bit of a breather, because he's come in and played far more minutes than probably what we thought at first, but that's a credit to him, because he's come in and hit the ground running, like I say. It was, you know, the right thing to do, to play him as much as what we have done. He's took some adjusting to at certain times in terms of injuries, but like I say, all along, from my first memory of him to then sending Pat last January to go and watch him, and half talking about trying to get something done, to then pushing on once we knew Rue was leaving, who, again, ironically, they played together in the same under-9 team, is just incredible. And he's going the right way. And, you know, buzzing for him. The lads were buzzing for him. He's a great character in and around the dressing room as well. But he understands that he's got to work very, very hard to get the goals. And I was pleased for him. I was pleased for the quality of his goals. You know, that's what I mean. He's got that. We've got to get him in the box a little bit more for the tapping ones. But we spoke about that with him. But yeah, he's ready to go again, and should be flying in terms of confidence.
With Roman Pirelli, it took quite a while for him to settle in, and it's taken a while for Tyrese to settle in.
Well,
not as long.
I know we shouldn't compare, but if you're making the comparison, I think Shady's got 7 goals, and Rue hadn't scored by this time last year over here at this club. So Rue, if I'm right, 1st of January, Peterborough was his first ever goal. Still keep in touch with Rue. And when he scored his double the other day, texted him well done, and he said that's 20 for the year.
Wow.
Now, Ty's got 7 already for us, and there's loads more to come from him. So, yeah, we're pleased with the progress that he's making. And for him and for us, is to just keep pushing him now and demand more from him.
Of course, he took the headlines on Monday, but a lot of people were talking about Kegs as well in midfield. How impressed were you with his performance? And
somebody told me he got man of the match.
Yeah, I think Joe Cole was talking quite highly of him on the television.
If you got man of the match over Tyree Shade, I don't know what you need to do to get man of the match if you're a striker and you score 3.
It's nice though, isn't
it? Pundits, eh? But no, Kegs was terrific as well. And again, he's another one that, if you look at the progress that he's making, and from this time last year, he actually scored in that same game. January the 1st was his first ever career goal. If you look from then to where he is now in terms of his performances, he's another one that's really invested in himself a lot and pushed on. But again, it falls into that category of there's so much more to come. From myself and the coaches, we know and we can see there's so much more to come from him, and that's exciting for us.
Cheers, Gary.
Gary, just going back to Wycombe, Michael Duff was made aware of your attendance at Adams Park the other night. Obviously difficult.
How was he made aware?
In his press conference today, he said he knew you were there on Tuesday night.
Do you know how he knew he was there? Because he waved at me.
Well, there we go. Obviously a difficult result for Wycombe on Tuesday night, but how much were you able to take away from that?
Yeah, I'm of a certain age where you can watch a game on a laptop, but you don't see everything on the laptop, and I like to go and I like to get the feel of it. I think Duffers is the same, and it was good to watch live and see how good they are in certain aspects, and obviously one or two areas that I feel that we might be able to try and exploit, which sometimes, like I say, you don't get on a laptop. But I've known Duffers for a while. He's good company. He's going to win the fashion stakes on Saturday against me, because I'll be as I am, and he'll be in his Lyle and Scott. But I haven't got a problem with losing the fashion stakes, because I generally do, as you can tell.
Maybe we need to bring the red gazelles back out.
The red gazelles, yeah, or the black ones, yeah.
For all the talk about Albion's home form, Wycombe as well haven't won in the last 4 away from home in the league, so it seems set up quite nicely in that sense.
No, like you say, I think it's only people that look for those kind of stories. Will Wycombe prepare any different because of that? No, they won't. They'll prepare because they want to try and win the game, and we'll be exactly the same, mate.
You've discussed Fabio's operation on Wednesday.
Yeah.
Are there any other injury news to report ahead of the game Saturday?
It's easier to tell you at the moment the ones that are fit, if I'm being brutally honest. But hopefully we'll have 11 that'll be able to start, and I know for a fact that no matter who that 11 is, they're going to give us their all, and that's all we can ask for. And I'm really impressed with the group, and Monday night proved that. There's a lot of noise. It was like a circus in the dressing room, down the corridor and what have you, but they stuck together, and they knew why the cameras were there, and they just focused on it and taking accountability, and they were really impressive with their mindset.
Of course, we know how close this group is, and injuries are never nice, but when you know you're going to be playing games, does that sort of increase the motivation?
Well, I think from a player's point of view, when you know that you're playing, obviously that's the best thing, because that's what you train for Monday to Friday, to play on the Saturday. So that obviously helps out for us for sure. We're coming into a busy period, and we've got to be, really good in terms of our preparation, looking after them, and then obviously on our recoveries now.
You mentioned that busy period. I suppose just finally from me, 3 of the last 4 games in this calendar year being at home here at the Pirelli. How important is it going to be for the fans to create that atmosphere and finish the year as strong as possible? Yeah,
it would be fantastic. We appreciate all this support. We know times, are hard in terms of financially for everyone up and down the country. So again, like going to the hospital today, we make the players aware of the efforts that supporters make and how much it's appreciated. And I think with the connection that you can see now with the players and the supporters, it's really, really good. None more so than Monday night, like you say, to travel like they did on the Monday night when it's live on TV, and still they made the numbers and the noise heard. It's something that we're really thankful for.
Thanks, Gary.
Cheers.
Gary, if I could just go back to Monday night.
Yes.
Obviously, it was a great victory,
yeah.
And the plaudits will always go to Tyree Shade. I was right behind the first goal, and it didn't go into the corner. It went through the centre. It was just the keeper who has got no chance with it.
Just the speed and the pace of it, yeah, like you say, the pace of it.
But we were talking earlier about Kegs Chowker,
yeah,
and the game and the influence he had. It seemed that he was sort of taking on a little bit of the Charlie Webster role, a little bit, and he seemed to revel in it.
I wouldn't say he was told to fill the Charlie Webster role. Charlie Webster's the only person that can fill the Charlie Webster role at our club, and he had his operation. He's due back in this week, so we can't wait to see that. Lovely lock of hair that he has flowing through the dressing room again, because I miss his personality as well as those lovely curls that he has. And then Kegs has gone about Kegs' job, and said earlier, we need him to push on. We want him to push on. We're demanding more from him. Areas of his game that we still identify that we can seek improvement from him, and he's brilliant in the sense of he wants to invest himself. He wants to make himself better. And there's no better place than here for him to do that.
He unleashed a really
haven't seen
effort.
that in all the time I've been here, and so that was really impressive from him, and something that we encourage more of from him.
Yeah, you touched on the crowd. A great atmosphere down there on Monday, and quite a few stayed behind to sort of congratulate the team as well.
Yeah, I I've been very fortunate, and Pat's been very fortunate since we came in, that the club, the supporters have been very supportive, and they've played their part massively so. And you know, I think I've mentioned it before. They're an intelligent bunch, our supporters, because they understand, you know, that we're not going to outspend, you know, and so as long as they see players running hard, fighting for the shirt, you know, they clap you up. They've clapped us off this season when we've not done well in games in terms of outcome, but as long as they see that effort, that's big, and you know, I think the way that they behave and support the team helps us massively when it doesn't go well, because they don't get on the players. They know where we are, they know what we're about, and they know what we've got to do next. And the most important thing is that togetherness in the team, but that togetherness with the supporters. Because I go up and down the country watching teams and watching supporters, and you know, the team passes the ball back, the crowd boo. What does that do for the players? It hardly inspires them. So, you know, I think our fans are brilliant because they don't do that. They support them, which, if you actually read the title of it, a supporter, there's a clue in the title, yeah.
It was an unusual situation on Monday that everybody knew who the play. If you want, I'm not certainly, unless it was replays back in the old days.
Yeah,
we used to use
exactly. Then
How did that affect the players? Was it just didn't?
Well, we talked about it beforehand, so we prepared them for it. We knew that obviously that was going to be, you know. Same for me. You know, I try and leave the lads to get ready in the dressing room, and so I stood outside, and it's coming over the tannoy, the draw, and then you've got people watching it on the phone there, and just unique experience in that sense. But that's what I mean. The players' mindset Monday was really impressive because they just focused on the job in hand.
Brilliant. Going on to Saturday,
yes.
We've got Wycombe at home. They've been up there. They've on a poor run at the last couple of games, 2 defeats, but still going to be a tough game. They are a top side.
Well, I wouldn't call 2 defeats a poor run. I understand what you're saying, but I fully expect him to be up there, like I say, with the manager, how he sets his team up. And he'll be looking at what he's done so far and looking at January and going, right, I need this, and you know, I would imagine that they have some financial backing ready for January to go again. Like I say, if he was still at Huddersfield, they might have got up last year. So would it surprise me if Wycombe make the playoffs? No, not at all.
Have we got any good news? Anybody sort of creeping back into contention, or?
I feel like I'm on mastermind now. The easy answer's pass, isn't it? No, not really. The majority are all long term. JJ maybe next week, but the rest are all long term.